Those Who Wish Me Dead is a 2021 American action thriller film directed by Taylor Sheridan with a screenplay by Michael Kurita, Charles Levitt, and Sheridan, based on Kurita's novel of the same name. The film follows a boy, Finn Little, who witnesses the murder of his father and goes on the run with a smoke jumper, Angelina Jolie, in the Montana wilderness to escape a pair of assassins, Nicholas Hoult and Aidan Gillen, hired to kill him. John Bernthal, Medina Senghor, and Jake Weber also appear. Those Who Wish Me Dead premiered on May 5, 2021, in South Korea, and was released in the United States on May 14 by Warner Bros. Pictures under the New Line Cinema banner, both in theaters and digitally for 1 month on HBO Max. The film, Hannah Faber, a smoke jumper, is struggling after failing to prevent the deaths of 3 young campers and a fellow smoke jumper in a forest fire. She is now posted in a fire lookout tower in Park County, Montana. Owen Casserly, a forensic accountant in Florida, learns about the death of his district attorney boss and his family in an apparent gas explosion, believing that their deaths were actually a contracted killing and that he is the next target. Owen goes on the run with his son, Connor. He intends to seek refuge with his brother-in-law, Ethan Sawyer, a deputy sheriff in Park County. Reaching Montana, they are ambushed by the assassins Jack and Patrick, who force them off the road and down a cliff. Trapped in the car, Owen gives Connor the evidence against the assassin's employer. Connor flees before the assassins kill Owen. Lightning strikes Hannah's tower, frying her communications equipment. As Ethan discovers Owen's car wreck, Hannah stumbles upon Connor while out on patrol. She takes him back to the tower to contact help. The assassins meet their boss, who instructs them to hunt down and kill Connor. As a diversion to preoccupy the police, they use flares to start a forest fire. They go to Ethan's isolated house searching for Connor and find and interrogate Ethan's pregnant wife, Allison. When they force her to call Ethan, she gives him a duress code. She then fights off the assassins and escapes. Hannah attempts to take Connor into town on foot, but they are forced to turn back when the fire blocks their path. Following the radio call, Ethan returns home with the sheriff, aiming to protect Allison. However, the assassins ambush them. They kill the sheriff and force Ethan to guide them through the woods. The assassins arrive at Hannah's fire tower and force Ethan to search it as they observe from a tree. Hannah and Connor hide while Ethan attempts to make it appear as if the tower is empty. After Patrick sees that Ethan seems to be talking to someone, the assassins shoot up the tower. Ethan is injured, but Hannah and Connor manage to escape. The assassins try to follow them but are stopped when Allison, having tracked them down, starts shooting at them. Patrick and Jack split up, with Patrick pursuing Hannah and Connor while Jack stays behind to fight Allison. Allison gains the upper hand and kills Jack. Connor runs ahead while Hannah fights Patrick but returns after Patrick threatens to beat Hannah to death. As Patrick is about to kill Connor, Hannah severely injures Patrick with a climbing axe and leaves him to burn to death in the approaching fire. Allison reunites with Ethan in the tower, but the fire traps them as they put on oxygen masks and hold each other. Hannah and Connor jump into a stream and watch from under the water as the fire engulfs the forest. In the morning after the fire has burned out, Hannah's old smoke jumping team arrives and rescues her, Connor, and Allison. Ethan has died from his gunshot wounds. Connor later prepares to give his father's evidence to the media. Hannah promises to help him through his uncertain future. Arriving home, Ed encounters an illusion created by the occultist. Lorraine sees the flower pot in the house turn black and discovers in the vase another artifact. Ed is cursed. Lorraine quickly arrived at Father Kastner's house and learned of the secret he had kept from the very beginning. The occultist is his only daughter since he was a pastor, because he did not want to let other priests know, so he raised her in the basement, where he always kept the paranormal objects he collected when he was a priest. Pursuing the apostle of Demon Ram. Too much exposure to those things causes the girl to betray God and worship demons. Just below this town there is a system of tunnels, and the ritual is definitely under there. Father Kastner led Lorraine to the tunnel entrance. As soon as Lorraine left, the occultist returned and killed his father, then pursued Lorraine. Upon finding the altar to perform the ritual, Lorraine attempted to destroy it but was unable to and was attacked by the occultist. Ed is so worried that he goes to find Lorraine and hears her voice on the ground. Ed climbed down, hammer in hand, and went to find Lorraine, but was enchanted by the occultist. At the prison, Arnie's body confused, as if controlled, despite Newman's father's exorcism ritual, the spirit gathered strength to break the glass and tie Arnie's body in the air, forcing him to hold the broken glass. Cut my neck. Jessica tries to stop it while the enchanted Ed chases and attacks Lorraine. In a critical moment, Lorraine reminds Ed of the past, when the two met and fell in love with each other. Ed slowly regains consciousness, picks up a hammer and destroys the altar. The spirit contract ritual is destroyed and the bond is also lost. The occultist approached the couple, holds a knife to kill but is attacked by a supernatural force. From the darkness, the evil spirit in the form of the occultist stepped out. Because he made a deal with the devil, the demon. Writing for Variety, Peter de Bruges said, "As directed by Taylor Sheridan, Those Who Wish Me Dead offers a much bigger sandbox for the gifted actor-turned-action maven, whose scripts for Sicario and Hell or High Water have launched him to the front of a genre dominated by CG robots, superheroes, and other intellectual property once associated with Saturday morning cartoons. Such movies are plenty popular, but this one marks a welcome departure, one intended for grown-ups seeking more realistic diversion, without shortchanging audiences when it comes to either spectacle or sound." Alonso Durald of The Wrap wrote, "The stakes are high and the danger is always imminent in this straightforward thriller. It never bends the rules of the genre, but it certainly delivers on what it promises." Film critic Sheila O'Malley from RogerEbert.com praises the effective action sequences, notably those that show the speed of a spreading forest fire, but she says more could be made of the smoke jumper's special capabilities and skills. She says the film leaps around so much, working to incorporate multiple narratives, including a massive forest fire, and tossing it all together inhibits the kind of emotions a film like this requires. She concludes that it's a film with no real center. Reviewer Peter Bradshaw from The Guardian praises the duo of assassins played by Gillen and Hoult, stating that almost everyone in the film is in danger of being upstaged by the pair. Bradshaw says Gillen's malign little smile is able to combat evil with great economy, and the jaded older man's attitude works interestingly alongside Hoult's boyish, open demeanor. Bradshaw notes some plot oddities, such as the illogical depiction of the assassin starting a forest fire as a diversion to local police. Overall, Bradshaw calls it a fierce, muscular piece of work, not a million miles from something like the Coen's No Country for Old Men. What do you think about the movie above? Please leave a comment. Bye and see you in the next movies.